Right now on Good Morning America First Look, the U.S. government finally reopens, what it means for workers, air travel, and healthcare premiums.
New emails revealed in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal mentioning President Trump, the response from the White House, and word now that lawmakers will vote on releasing all the Epstein files.
The concern about rising prices and the economy. The Trump administration now floating so-called portable mortgages. Could they work in the U.S.? Plus, a new promise when it comes to coffee and fruit prices.
A jury awards nearly $2 million to a woman who says her husband cheated on her. The rare law protecting a jilted spouse.
A developing story. This Utah woman traveling with a romantic partner on the California coast goes missing.
A base jumper found dangling off this cliff. The urgent rescue.
Saying goodbye to the penny. The mint pressing the very last 1-cent coin. But what happens when the store doesn't have exact change?
And a real-life Catch Me If You Can. The airline captain who wasn't a captain after all. This was no movie.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Flight.
And I'm Victor Okendo. We'll get to those new emails from the Jeffrey Epstein files in a moment. But first, we begin with the government finally reopening.
President Trump signing a bill to fund the government through January. But Democrats are promising not to give up in their push to extend health care subsidies. Meanwhile, we have new information about the flight delays at major airports blamed on the shutdown. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio begins our coverage. Nicole, good morning.
Sophie, good morning. President Trump last night signed that funding bill ending the longest government shutdown in American history. It came after the House approved the compromise bill passed by the Senate. Now, enough Democrats broke ranks to break the impasse. Democrats had demanded Obamacare subsidies be extended to prevent premiums from skyrocketing, but they did not get that extension. Republicans in the Senate promised only a vote on the issue next month, something Speaker Mike Johnson has not promised in the House. Now, the 43-day government shutdown cost the economy billions of dollars per week and left millions of Americans without paychecks. Each party now blaming the other.
So I just want to tell the American people you should not forget this. When we come up to midterms and other things, don't forget what they've done to our country.
Only two ways, Mr. Speaker, that this fight will end. Either Republicans finally decide to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits this year, or the American people will throw Republicans out of their jobs next year and end the speakership of Donald J. Trump once and for all. That's how this fight ends.
And there's a controversial provision in this bill to end the shutdown. It allows senators to sue the government if their phone records are obtained in secret during investigations. The provision has sparked bipartisan backlash, but it wasn't enough to sink the bill. Meanwhile, some good news for air travelers. The FAA is now freezing flight reductions at major airports as more air traffic controllers report back to work. And the airlines hope things will get back to normal by this upcoming weekend. Victor.
All right, Nicole, thank you. Now to the case of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and new emails released. The White House saying there is no evidence President Trump knew about Epstein's crimes. New details emerging from the more than 20,000 newly released documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, some mentioning President Trump. In email exchanges with a New York Times reporter in 2015, Epstein suggesting reporters ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused, he walked straight into the door. And there was this exchange in 2018 with someone whose name has been redacted. That person writing, "They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." Epstein replying, "It's wild because I am the one able to take him down."
Congratulations, you're now a member of 119th Congress.
Just moments after being sworn in yesterday, Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva became the 218th and final signature needed on a petition to force a vote on releasing all of the Epstein files.
Justice cannot wait another day.
Speaker Mike Johnson now saying the House will vote on the issue. Opponents worry about protecting the privacy of the victims.
We're going to put that on the floor for a full vote next week.
In an attempt to stop the petition, top White House and Justice Department officials attempted to pressure Congresswoman Lauren Boebert into removing her name from it, meeting with her in the Situation Room, but her name stayed on the petition.
Why not just go ahead, release the full files on Epstein, get this all over with?
This administration has done more with respect to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein than any administration ever.
Earlier in the day, House Democrats releasing emails obtained from the Epstein estate. Those emails include a 2011 exchange between Epstein and his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein writing the quote, "Dog that hasn't barked is Trump," adding one of his victims spent hours with Trump at Epstein's home, but that Trump has never once been mentioned. Maxwell replying, "I have been thinking about that." House Republicans and the White House identifying the victim as Virginia Giuffre, who once worked at Trump's spa at Mar-a-Lago. Giuffre said she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. She died by suicide earlier this year. Trump and Epstein were friends for more than a decade.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump said he hadn't spoken to him in 15 years. He insists he broke off the friendship when he learned Epstein and Maxwell were luring away female staffers who worked at Mar-a-Lago.
Stole people that work for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again, and I threw him out of the place.
In a 2019 email to author Michael Wolff, Epstein writing, Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Maxwell is serving 20 years in prison for sex trafficking. Sources say she's angling for a pardon from President Trump. In a recent interview, she said she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. The White House says Democrats released the emails as a distraction as the government reopens.
More than 600 immigrants detained during a federal crackdown in Chicago could soon walk free. A judge has ordered their release by next Friday, saying authorities may have violated a consent decree that limits the ability of agents to conduct warrantless arrests. Federal officials say the order puts Americans at risk.
Overseas, 2 Ukrainian government ministers have now resigned amid a growing corruption scandal. It involves Ukraine's state-owned nuclear power company and allegations of bribery and kickbacks. There are no allegations against Ukrainian President Zelensky.
Now to the concerns about prices and the economy. First, we look at a new proposal to address the high cost of housing. This morning, the Trump administration is exploring another way to re-energize the housing market. Just days after Trump proposed a 50-year mortgage, one administration official is floating the idea of portable mortgages, letting homeowners take their existing rate with them when they move.
Someone might want to trade down to a smaller house, but why would you trade down when you have such good financing arrangements?
But experts warn portable mortgages would be tough to pull off in the U.S. because most home loans are bundled and sold to investors, making them much harder to transfer. And in countries like Canada and the UK, where portable mortgages are allowed, homeowners still have to get reapproved. The Trump administration also addressing concern about grocery prices. The Treasury Secretary now promising action to bring down coffee and fruit prices, likely in the form of tariff relief.
You're going to see some substantial announcements over the next couple of days.
Americans also worry about unemployment. A new poll finds that more than half of working Americans are worried about losing their jobs. President Trump now facing blowback from some of his most ardent supporters after he defended the use of H-1B worker visas, telling Fox News that American workers are not skilled enough for certain jobs.
We have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene responding, saying, I believe in the American people. I am one of you. I believe you are good, talented, creative, intelligent, hardworking, and want to achieve. I am solidly against you being replaced by foreign labor. But the CEO of Ford says his company has 5,000 open mechanic positions with 6-figure salaries and has not been able to fill them because of the lack of skilled workers.
We are in trouble in our country. We are not talking about this enough.
As for the portable mortgage proposal, the Trump administration says it's evaluating the idea.
A daring rescue operation to save this base jumper dangling off the side of a cliff in Utah, hundreds of feet off the ground. You can see his parachute tangled in the rocky terrain, but rescuers were able to reach him and safely bring him down. The cords from the parachute are what kept him from falling.
Time now for your Thursday weather.
Good morning. The December chill being erased in the east. We still have showers and gusty breezes across the northeast, keeping temperatures seasonable, warming up in the middle of the country and a storm in the west. But we can have temperatures that probably push about 60 degrees in D.C. as we head into the weekend, closer to 50 in New York and Boston. Maybe by Sunday a little warmer, and Cincinnati could push 70 degrees. Really warm in the middle of the country, 60s all the way to the Dakotas, but it's cooling in the west. It's another storm coming in. Northern California getting soaked this morning, down to L.A., into tonight and tomorrow. Big winds in Northern California, and temperatures will be well below normal, 1 to 2 inches of rain. That's your forecast. I'm ABC News meteorologist Lee Goldberg.
Coming up, a fitting tribute to the famous TV painter Bob Ross.
But first, a jury awards nearly $2 million to a woman who says her husband cheated on her. The rare law protecting a jilted spouse.
And later, a wild pig chase on the highway. In California, the mother of a missing 9-year-old is out on bail after pleading not guilty to charges unrelated to her daughter's disappearance. Ashley Buzzard is accused of holding a man against his will as he helped search for the child. Melody was last seen October 7th on surveillance video with her mom at a rental car agency near Santa Barbara, both apparently wearing wigs. Police say the mom is not cooperating. This video appears to show her removing missing person posters from her yard.
Now to North Carolina, and a jury awarding big money to a woman who says her husband cheated on her.
Hi guys, let's cook some spaghetti.
This morning, a jury has ordered a TikTok influencer accused of breaking up a marriage to pay nearly $2 million to the jilted spouse.
I was raised to respect the marriage. I was raised to respect God. Loyalty, marriage, the White House with the picket fence and the dog and the kid, that's me.
Akira Montague sued Brene Kennard, a TikToker with millions of followers, under an unusual state law in North Carolina. Montague claiming that Kennard had an affair with her husband, and as a result, Montague claimed what's known as alienation of affection. Her attorney speaking to our station WTVD.
I think it shows the world that you should think twice before you interfere with a marriage. You should think about those children and that spouse.
The law says plaintiffs in cases like this must prove they're in a loving marriage. The third party must have knowledge of the marriage, and the marriage must have continued during the affair.
It was horrible. Even right now, I don't like going out in public with my kids because I'll get stopped in the store. I can't have fun with my kids to this day because people harass me and them. So it's hard.
Kennard denied the allegations and claimed the photos and videos were obtained illegally, but the judge rejected her request to dismiss the case, and the jury awarded Montague $1.75 million, one of the biggest awards of its kind in the state.
I want people to be able to think, okay, Miss Montague won $1.75 million. Is that man worth it? Is that woman worth it? They will think now.
Only 6 states still allow spouses to sue someone for interfering with their marriage.
Coming up, the final penny is minted. What happens now if you need exact change?
Also ahead, a real-life Catch Me If You Can. The airline captain who wasn't a captain after all.
We have new details about a 35-year-old Utah woman missing in Central California for a week. Danielle Staley hasn't been seen or heard from since attending a party on the beach. Her family says she's been traveling with a romantic partner who claims Staley left the party without her phone. Her belongings were found on the beach. Police not ruling out foul play.
An investigation is underway after a pilot who flew hundreds of passengers around Europe was accused of using credentials that were forged. The man, reportedly a co-pilot, allegedly used fake certificates to get a job with a Lithuanian airline. Aviation Express, which also provides crews for other airlines, says the man has been removed from the job.
Well, it's the end of the road for the penny, but the change is bringing up concerns and questions. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, a penny for your thoughts may now be a collector's item. The Mint has now stopped producing them.
3, 2, 1. Done.
After 230 years in circulation, the final penny was minted yesterday in Philadelphia. Why must fans of the penny say goodbye? The federal government says the coin is too expensive.
Production for a single penny has tripled while the demand has plummeted.
It costs nearly 4 cents to make 1 penny. The Treasury Department expects to save $56 million a year on materials by not producing them. There are still 300 billion pennies in circulation, but retailers have voiced concerns as penny supplies run low, saying the phase-out was abrupt and came with no guidance from the government. Some stores now warning customers about a penny shortage and the possibility of having to round up prices. The nostalgia the penny holds is priceless. From the candy it used to buy,
Squirrel nuts, what's the little fishes,
to those custom engraved souvenir machines. The last time a coin was discontinued was the half cent in 1857. Now, nearly 170 years later, coin collectors say just like no one misses the half cent, people will forget about the penny.
Ultimately, I don't think it's going to be missed that much. Collectors that are sentimental can still go buy one. There's billions of them, and those aren't being destroyed. So there'll be plenty for people to have.
The final pennies minted will be auctioned off and not go into circulation. Now, some are wondering if the 5-cent nickel, which costs 14 cents to make, could also be in jeopardy. Sophie, Victor.
Andrea, thank you. Coming up, a man claims he was shot by his dog.
Plus, driverless taxis hit the highway. Time to check the pulse, and we begin with driverless taxis hitting the highway.
Waymo's robo-taxis are about to take passengers on highways, not just local roads. It is the first time a fully autonomous taxi has offered rides on interstates. The rides are available in Phoenix, Los Angeles, and San Francisco Bay Area.
Waymo says the driverless cars have a lower crash rate than cars driven by humans. Next, the Pennsylvania man who claims his dog shot him.
But it wasn't really the dog's fault. Police say the man was cleaning a shotgun at his home northwest of Philly. He then put the gun down on his bed.
The dog then jumped on the bed, setting off the gun. The man was hit in the back and is recovering.
Next, a little piggy being pursued by police.
This wild pig was running down Interstate 40 in Albuquerque. Police described the chase as brief but spirited. An officer eventually grabbed the pig, bringing it to a shelter.
Amazing video.
Next, the first teaser for the new Devil Wears Prada sequel.
It has been 20 years in the making.
Miranda, took you long enough.
Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci are also returning. Movie is out next May. I think we'll both be seeing it. Finally, big money for some of Bob Ross's best paintings.
Yeah, they were auctioned off to benefit PBS stations. Winter's Peace from a 1993 episode of Ross's PBS show sold for $318,000, and 2 others brought in $340,000. We'll check top headlines next.
Checking more top stories. President Trump signed a bill last night reopening the government. Democrats did not get the extension of Obamacare subsidies they wanted, only the promise of a vote on the issue next month in the Senate. Air traffic controllers are reporting back to work, and the FAA is now freezing the number of flight reductions.
Civil rights icon Jesse Jackson is hospitalized in Chicago. He's under observation for a neurological disorder known to affect movement and balance. Jackson is 84.
Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz has pleaded not guilty in a gambling scheme in which he allegedly rigged pitches. The other Guardians pitcher accused in the scheme, Emmanuel Clase, faces a judge today.
Sean Diddy Combs will have to wait longer to be released from prison. His release has been pushed back a month because of an alleged rule violation in prison. He's now due to be released in June 2028.
Today's weather, heavy rain and wind on the West Coast, and scattered rain and snow from western New York up to Maine.
And finally, just be kind.
Today's the day for it, as we hear from Danny New.
On this World Kindness Day, we are meeting an organization called Free Wheelchair Mission. A name that lets you know pretty quickly how their team spreads kindness around the world.
There are 80 million people that need a wheelchair at any given time. And our mission is to provide those wheelchairs for free.
Nuka Hart here is the CEO of Free Wheelchair Mission, which over the past 24 years has donated more than 1.5 million wheelchairs to people in almost 100 countries. In the past year, they've started distributing their newest foldable model called the Gen 4 Joy, which they manufacture themselves.
This wheelchair changed me. It truly changed me.
One of the first recipients was Ulises here in Argentina.
In America, it's like we have
Football. Football. I spoke with the 16-year-old and his mother, Natalie, via a translator about a wide range of topics, including his favorite sports. Ulises has cerebral palsy, and he says this new wheelchair's flexibility and durability has enabled him to not only go and play more football with his friends, but
Salgo mucho afuera, voy a las canchas.
The mobility and transportability, now he's able to gain and do and just explore around.
And now, as Ulises settles into this new chair that has further enabled his independence, he says he wants people to understand how he feels about living with cerebral palsy and how receiving a gift like this has inspired him.
Yo mismo, al tener una discapacidad.
Yes, I have a disability, but I accept myself how I am. This reinforces how I am important and how much I really have to give back to the world.
And guys, I want to give a shout out to that translator, Ilse. She was actually the person who brought Ulises his wheelchair back in June when he was one of the first people to test their newest model.
Oh, Danny, thank you, and happy World Kindness Day.
And that is your Good Morning America First Look.
Have a great day.